And a good morning. Welcome to Brothers Market here in dreary downtown Sigourney, Iowa. We are in the candy section today. We've got Alan and Bruce hosting along with the Sigourney boys basketball team. Alan, Bruce, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks, Steve. Yeah, a little foggy out today on this championship weekend. I don't know if any of you guys got your teams left playing like I do, but it is the championship weekend. So today we got with us what I call the Fab Five of Sigourney basketball. By far, probably the youngest team in the conference. I'm not sure if any other school can say they have no seniors, which our team has no seniors. So one promising thing is obviously everybody's back next year, and except for Isaac Bruns, everybody's back for the next 2 years. So we brought these guys in here today just to get a little bit more exposure. Steve has got a lot of viewers and takers that that watch the show, watch all of his media. So it's kind of to get some exposure out of just telling a little bit about you guys instead of just seeing you on the court. And you know, some people might not even know you. Like I said, there's a lot of viewers, and I think Steve said, what'd you have to say, 500,000
Yeah.
on your
It's kind of blown
on
up
your
here
hit
recently.
list, I'll say.
Yeah, we were reaching about 660,000 here in the last month. So.
Yeah, so you guys aren't just talking to us and Steve, you're talking to a lot of viewers. So anyway, before I have these guys introduce themselves, I'm just going to kind of go through a few stats here of these guys. Right now they're sitting at 8-5 in the conference. They got 2 or 3 makeup games here yet, if they get scheduled. And you know, a schedule that's left that's, to me, pretty much all winnable games here. So I know they'll have a battle with Kyoto, but the rest of them, I mean, definitely winnable games, and you know, playing for a good seed in the playoffs right now. But junior Isaac Bruns, right now he's shooting 43% from the field, 25.5 from the three-point land, and his free throws is 71.1, which is pretty good. He leads the team on that. Has 89 rebounds and 41 assists. Sophomore Braden Wood, shooting 38% from the field, 34.9% from the three-point land, and 61.1 from the free throws, which is still pretty good. Sophomore John Berg, he's shooting 50.6% from the field, and obviously John probably doesn't have too far shots, but John, that's pretty good percentage, John, real good. He is 0 for 2 from three-point land, so what that tells me is he knows his role, unless he hit one last night, I guess. But he's shooting 50% from the free throw land. He leads the team with rebounds with 94 and 37 offensive rebounds, which he leads the team. So John's a big part of this team. Solon Yates, sophomore, 39.6 from the field, 32.9 from three-point land, and 68.4 from free throws. And then finalizing out is our diaper dandy freshman Ike Molnix. He's shooting 31.8% from the field, 39.1 from the three-point land, 65.2 from free throws. He's got 42 assists, which leads the team. So Ike definitely likes to share the ball. The team overall is shooting 38% from the field, 30.2 from three-point land, 62.6 from the free throw, and they've scored 712 points going into last night, which is an average of 59.3 points per game. So pretty good stats for a young team. Right now I'm just going to have you guys go down the line here. You know, just tell your name and what position you play for the Savages.
I'm Isaac Bruns. I would say I probably play the shooting guard.
Ike Molnax, I play the point guard.
Solon Yates, I play forward.
Braden Wood, I play guard.
John Berg, I play center.
And while you got it there, John, I'm going to have you go right back and just tell our viewers kind of what hobbies you do outside of basketball. Besides sleep.
I farm.
My dad used to drive a race car. He's retired, as he says, and now I've got my own race car, so we're going to start that this year.
I golf quite a bit.
I also golf quite a bit, and I like to fish as well.
I also like to golf and play cards.
Very good, guys. Isaac, like who contributes off the bench? Who comes off the bench to help you guys out?
I would say Cole is more of a facilitator coming off the bench, and then Dylan kind of gives us somewhat of a scoring threat. Caden definitely comes in a little bit of scoring, but mainly on the defensive end, which he knows that for his role. Otherwise, Kane is just a very good big body presence when he comes in.
Okay.
So just give us kind of a recap of how the season's going, what you think the season's going, and maybe who the next couple games you got coming up are.
Our season's definitely been pretty good for how young we are. I definitely think we could have won a couple games early on, but it was kind of a learning experience of being young, figuring out how to win some close games. But overall, for how we've done, I think we've done pretty good. And we've got some games coming up that I think we should definitely win, and then kind of close out the season very well come to the playoffs.
Okay. Isaac, how's our student section this year?
At home, it's been pretty good, except there's a couple games they've been lacking. Away games have actually been pretty strong, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Is there a leader of the student section, or, I mean, I know sometimes they do themes, whatnot. Is that just the kids talking about that, or is there a teacher?
I don't know if there's really been a leader.
Okay, I know since Mr. Harder left, he was pretty good at getting themes out there and getting the student section all riled
They
up.
just kind of bring the energy whenever.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Ike, who is the kind of the quarterback of the team, the floor general?
Well, I like to consider myself a floor general. I like to dish the ball out a lot, just like a quarterback would do. I try my best to get my teammates good opportunities to score.
Okay. Yep.
Looking back on the season so far, Isaac, you said there's a couple games you thought you should win. Who were those, and do you have another chance at them that you think you might be able to get them this time?
Belle Plaine was one of them. We lost by one at the last-second basket. And then Montezuma, we lost by, I think, 3 in a late-game situation. I think if we played them now, we could definitely win those games.
Excellent. So you get another shot at Belle Plaine, though.
Yep, next Saturday.
Good.
Very good. And for all 5 of you here, does any of you guys have any, like, pregame rituals, or, like Coach Hahn said, do you wear your same underwear, or, just whatever. Because I'm like that. When the 49ers play, I got to wear the same stuff.
Game.
So,
Alan has worn the same underwear for years. It's like, man.
Hey, you guys got anything?
I do, actually. It's funny you mentioned that. These guys all make fun of me for it, but I wear shorts under my shorts, and they're the same ones every time. So,
yeah. Well, hey, if it gets you through the game, that's just what you do. Solon, take us through a practice from start to beginning. What do you guys do? Now that Coach Hahn and I aren't there, we don't really know what you guys do. If you've changed things up, or
well, it's pretty much the same thing for nowadays. So we start with our stretches, then we go into like our warm up, just like layups and stuff like that, and then we do 3-on-2, 2-on-1. Then we'll usually run for a little bit. And then we'll go into like 5-on-5 or just like scrimmage against the JV, and then we'll probably run again, and then shoot at our own baskets, and then you'll play probably more live, and then that'll pretty much be it.
And with the numbers you guys got, do you guys split up varsity JV ever, or are you just all in one?
Yeah. Not so much now. We did like when we were incorporating like new plays and stuff, but now it's kind of all together.
Okay. Very good. For all of you guys here going down the line, for basketball, which is kind of one of them sports that you got to stay with it to get better, but do you guys shoot year round, wait till the season starts, or hit and miss through the summer, or how do you feel like to get yourself better?
I would say I probably don't shoot constantly with other sports in the way, but definitely try to get in the gym whenever we've got time.
Yeah, 100% agree with Bruns. I don't get to shoot all the time every day, but I make it a point to get some shots up throughout the off season at least, so I don't lose my touch.
Yeah, I definitely try and shoot as much as I can, like during the off season.
Yeah, I would say we've got a basket in our shop, so whenever I can, I try and go out there and shoot. Definitely not every day, but at least once a week for sure in the off season.
I got a hoop outside my house that I shoot on sometimes.
No, very good, guys. For all of you, once again, going back down the line, kind of what age and how did you guys get involved with basketball?
I don't know the exact age, but I know at least us four, minus John, we definitely have been playing basketball, whether it's like as a team doing a little bit of travel ball or just kind of out together, just kind of 2-on-2 or whatnot, always just kind of playing together.
Yeah, I'd say we started at a very young age, and there was a point in time where us three for sure, me, Solon, and Bruns, we'd go to up at Fountain Fitness, and we'd shoot like every day for hours on end, and that's just kind of what I'm remembering.
For me, it was definitely my dad. He'd always bring me to Kyoto, like old man open gyms, so I remember that.
Yeah, I think that it was probably around third grade really when I really got involved in basketball. And in elementary, Solon's dad and my dad were they always coached us, and I know John played with us then too, and I think that really, we always went to Marshalltown in tournaments and stuff, and that really helped us as a team.
Yeah, the Marshalltown tournaments is what I remember.
So you guys have obviously been playing sort of together for a long time, which helps and makes it fun. So, let's see.
I got a question for Solon. So, growing up with triplets, your sisters with you the same age, and then your dad being a judge, you guys sat at the supper table, is there any your dad talking to you and you guys object to him, or does he overrule? Yeah. How's that being the son of a judge?
There's definitely times where, well, he likes to crack some pretty stupid jokes, I would say, and
God, I hope Joel's watching.
yeah. There's times we'll disagree, and he can have his sense knocked into it, I guess.
Puts his judge voice on,
Yeah.
and then you understand.
Yeah.
Question for Isaac and for Ike here. Bruns, your dad was a very good wrestler growing up. I mean, how did he take when you decided you wanted to play basketball?
He definitely really tried to force me into wrestling, but when I started playing some travel ball, he was definitely starting to become a basketball fan.
Yeah. And Ike, coming from a wrestling family, grandpa's dad, brother, whatever, how was that taken when you decided you just wanted to play basketball?
My oldest brother did play basketball for a little bit, so he was a little more understanding than Reed. But, they've asked me a lot of times or told me that I should go wrestle. But my dad is actually very understanding. He says that if I want to play basketball, I should just play basketball. But I've definitely heard a lot of times just go out for wrestling, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
And from what I remember in junior high football practice when we did a King of the Ring drill, Ike probably should be wrestling because I don't think anybody even challenged him.
No,
when we used to do that drill, and we wondered ourselves of why Ike wasn't wrestling. But nope, that is what it is. It's what you're into, and going from there. So back to each one of you here again. You guys have played the round of the conference. Kind of, who do you guys feel like is the team to beat, the best team in the conference? As far as each of you, because I know you guys are different positions, I mean, what team was a bad matchup for you?
I feel like Kyoto is probably the team to beat, especially coming up here on our side of the conference. I don't think they've lost a game, and we kind of got whooped the first game out, so that'd be a nice one to win. And then I feel like a bad matchup for us was Probably Kyoto when they just kind of shot the lights out. So next time, you just got to play better defense.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, since Brun said Kyoto, I'll switch it up. I think we should. The team to beat right now is Belle Plaine. That one slipped away from us. Definitely shouldn't have lost that one. So we got to come back and take care of that one. As far as a bad matchup goes, I'd say Kyoto as well because they just came out firing, and when we got down early, couldn't come back, and they just ran with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with them that Belle Plaine's definitely the team to beat. And then I'd probably say maybe like Linville Sully. They definitely gave us trouble. Like their defense was very good. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to agree with these guys. I think in our situation, Belle Plaine is definitely the team that we want to beat coming up. And then obviously we want to beat Kyoto too. But I think that Linville Sully was definitely the team we struggled with matchup-wise anyways for me because they are a very good defensive team in our conference.
Yeah, I'd say we need to beat Belle Plaine. Linville Sully, it was definitely a hard matchup for me at least. I mean, Van Dyke inside.
And I wondered about that too, Berg, was, you're the big guy down low and you get all the big guys of the conference and like Van Dyke and Evan Vitito and that's why I was curious to know too of, what you felt like was a tough match or a bad match for you. So very good. Ike, question for you. Woody versus his dad, who wins?
I'll take Woody. He may not have the height advantage, but I think he's got him.
Okay. Solon, Bruns versus Eslick, who wins?
Oh boy.
Now remember, Eslick's a state champ, an all-stater, and a 1,000-point scorer. So,
but he's got some age on him.
Yeah. I'll stick with Isaac. Eslick can definitely give him a run, but I think Eslick's got him in tennis, but maybe not basketball.
All right, Bruns. Berg versus his dad.
Well, it depends if I'm passing to him because he might miss the layup. Otherwise, if he can shoot well, I'll give it to John.
Bergie. Solon versus his dad.
Give me Sol. He's a good shooter.
Boy, his dad was
Well, I
good in
don't
his
know.
day.
I know.
I don't know.
Age
That'd be a good matchup.
That might be a bloody match.
Age can pay a toll on someone, though.
And then Woody. Ike versus Cade, his brother.
I got to go with Ike. I mean, I think Cade might definitely have a little bit of a strength advantage, but I think Ike is, I just think Ike would win that matchup.
Okay, and then one more for all of you going down. Bruce versus me.
In basketball.
And I'm just going to tell you
Basketball.
what. We were on together probably one of the worst basketball teams ever. So I'm just...
Well, I think it'll end in a tie. That's what I'm going to go with.
I agree. I have no information to base my input on. So,
I'll go with Bruce.
I'll say you guys tie at 0.
I'll give it to Alan since Bruce has the other vote.
All right, so we ended with a tie.
So we end with the tie.
Very good. Steve, you got any questions for these guys here?
I was going to say, between the two of you, it probably ended in a double heart attack.
Well, that's true.
How many points we going to? 1? Because if it's past that, I'm
First guy to
losing.
score.
No, I was going to say, kind of pointing out, the dads and Isaac's uncle Greg Bruns, who was also, believe him and Joel were on the same team back in the day, and they had a really good team back then. So, kind of a legacy group here in Sigourney. How many of your guys' dads or parents went to school here in Sigourney?
I'm pretty sure mine did.
Yeah. Okay.
My mom did.
Okay. So you all have, y'all kind of all have that Sigourney connection. Was it last week we had the Kyoto boys in? So how about you guys say what is it like when you face Kyoto in basketball? Obviously, a lot of you guys have those connections in football and other sports. But we'll have that game, of course, coming up here on Steve Shetler Media on February 6th, the makeup date for the Sigourney at Keota basketball matchup. What do you guys think? What's it like when you face your sometimes teammates in Keota on the basketball court?
Definitely some rivalry that you really want to beat them, but I like to mess with some of them on the court.
Obviously, they're good friends outside of basketball and outside of inside football. But when we step on that court, we're rivals, we're enemies. We're not friends on the court.
Yeah, I think we really want to beat them.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. I think that during football, there's also some trash talk that goes on. But
Who wins the basketball game?
Yeah, and then different people matching up. I know Sawyer loved to do that during football. But I think that when we get on the basketball court, and I think Coach Jensen could speak to this, that whoever's across from you, they're not your friends when you're playing against them. You want to beat them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a whole different energy against Keota, too.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting matchup coming up on the 6th.
Yeah, and I think that's went on for a long time. I mean, of hearing some of the past players talk about that, too, of, their teammates, during football, but on basketball, it's, you really want to beat them. So it is still a good big rival game.
It's a fun rivalry to watch when they're on the court going against each other, going at each other hard, and then when the game's over, they shake hands, they're hanging out, they're buddies. That's not too many other places in this state can say that.
Yeah. Steve, anything else from you?
No, I was just busy blocking a spammer in the comments, but I know we got a lot of people watching this morning, obviously interested in our Sigourney boys here in Sigourney. We're still waiting for Coach Eslick to come in this morning, right?
Yep.
I got one last question for all of you. So we've coached you in a sport or multiple sports and you've had multiple coaches throughout your careers. Who's your favorite coach?
From kindergarten up.
Kindergarten up. And you can say your dad if you want to. Come on, Bergie.
I mean, you guys are definitely the funnest coaches, I'd say. I'll go with you guys. I will.
I think I'm going to have to go with my dad because just of the relationship that we have. I mean, obviously he's my dad, and I don't want to show any bias towards any of my other coaches.
I'm also going to have to go with my dad. Might be a little mad at me if I don't say it.
I've had a lot of coaches throughout the year. Coach Jensen and Coach Eslick, I've only had 1 year with them. You guys, I got 2 years. But two that I really liked were Joel Yates and Nathan Wood. Those were they were my coaches growing up, for a long time, and I always loved playing for them. So I think I'd go with them.
I've had a lot of coaches, so I can't really pick exactly one. They've all taught me something.
And Isaac, you've played in 212 league and multiple leagues, so yeah, you've had definitely a lot of coaches, and I do kind of like to hear that when the guys say their dad. I mean, that's kind of where it starts. And I remember coaching my son too, and I know it was important to him. So
I think that's the most honest answers we've got out of athletes yet so far.
Yeah, so excellent. Guess my last thing here, guys, is these guys play at starting JV at 1:00 today. If you're not busy, they're playing Tri-County. I believe this is a makeup game. Yeah. So if you're not doing anything today here, 1:00, Sigourney High School. These guys are going for win number 9. Our last thing here of the day here before you guys take off is you guys are our guest pickers for our pick'em contest at the end of.
I can waste some time here if you want. If we want to give Eslick a few more minutes. Let's get through some of my business here, actually, before we do that. I was also going to say, guys, I see some of you guys during the summer months playing at the basketball courts at the park, at the Legion Park here in Sigourney. So I don't live too far away, so if you ever need an extra guy, I can break out the rec specs and come down and teach you some old man moves. Anyway, let's look at some I'm just joking. Let's see here. We've got the Brothers Market app special that's going on through today. You can take advantage of that. You can see that on your screen. Had a lettuce for just 99 cents with the digital app coupon. We've got Prairie Farms 2% gallon milk, $3.89 with the app. And then Lay's chips are $1.99 with the digital app, limit 2. So take advantage of that. Download that digital app and take advantage of those specials today. Also, as we mentioned, we will be having the Sigourney at Keota basketball games. The makeup date, February 6th. That'll be right here on Steve Shuttler Media. And let's see here. Do want to congratulate our athlete of the week for this past week from Cardinal Girls Wrestling. Abby Derflinger was voted our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to Abby. Alan and Bruce, I'm sure you saw that due to popular demand, we added Montezuma and EBF into the mix with our Athlete of the Week. So we're expanding and reaching a lot more people within southeast Iowa for the Athlete of the Week. Tons of votes, and they were really spread out all across the board this past week. Abby Derflinger of the girls wrestling team in Cardinal coming out on top as our Athlete of the Week. Now, our new Athlete of the Week poll will go up Monday morning. Alan, Bruce, and I will do our in-depth research to come up with some nominees as far as looking at different websites and statistics, and easy for me to say, statistics. And we'll also take nominees for our Athlete of the Week. That's always brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics. And I think that might be about it. Of course, we're at Brothers Market. We're at 118 South Main in Sigourney. You can stop in, get all your grocery needs taken care of. And again, use that digital app to get some great deals on different groceries. Guys, looking at our Pick'em's standings, this was after last week, and the guest pickers are still in the lead. Guest pickers with 40 points. They lead the standings. Bruce and I are tied at second place with 38. Neil, who unfortunately can't be here this morning, Neil Crott at 37. And Alan, you've got 36. So it is pretty tight in our standings for the Pick'ems. I know we're going to be picking them again today. We've got the guys here from the Sigourney High School basketball team to help us out. Shall we jump into that?
Yep. Let's go on and jump in here. So we'll do these 5 guys here right now, so they can get out of here, and Coach Eslick hopefully will be coming in. Our first game is Iowa at Michigan men's basketball today.
I gotta stick with the home team, Iowa.
I'll go Iowa.
I'll go Iowa.
Yeah, you can't bet against the Hawks, so I'm going to have to go with Iowa.
I'll go with Iowa as well.
Okay, going back. Number 7, Kansas at Iowa State.
Well, I think the obvious pick would be Kansas here, but I think the Clones can pull off an upset today.
I agree. I'm going Iowa State.
I'll take Kansas.
Yeah, I'm going with Kansas too.
I'll go with Kansas.
Okay. Good picks. Number 20, Texas Tech at number 11, Oklahoma.
I'm going to go with Oklahoma.
I liked playing Texas Tech on NCAA 14, so I'll take them.
I'll go Oklahoma.
I'm going to have to go with Texas Tech. Joe Toussaint's going to have a big day today.
I'll go with Oklahoma.
All right. Texas at number 21, BYU.
Give me BYU.
I'm not really sure about either of these two teams, but I'll go with Texas.
I'll go with Texas.
I'll go with BYU.
I'm going to go with Texas.
Okay. Number 9, Arizona at Oregon, and they both have the same record.
I feel like Arizona's always choking to unranked teams, so I might have to go with Oregon.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go with Arizona on this one.
Yeah, give me Arizona.
Okay, then we're going to switch over here to women's basketball. Today's game, Nebraska at number 5, Iowa.
Give me Iowa.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark's going to – she could drop a 40 burger today. I'm going with the Hawks.
40 burger.
Iowa.
Got to take Iowa.
Hawks by a million.
Okay, Isaac, coming back. Iowa State at number 24, West Virginia, women's basketball.
I'm going to go with Iowa State.
I'll take West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I'm going to go with Iowa State.
Give me West Virginia.
Okay, and then we turn over to the NFL. The Chiefs at the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to have to piggyback off of John here. I got the Ravens.
I'll take the Ravens.
I'm going to have to take the Ravens.
I'm sticking with my Chiefs.
I was kind of hoping it was a sweep there, just a Taylor Swift sweep. Coming back, Isaac, the Lions at San Fran.
You got to go with the Niners.
Niners are great, but I want the Lions to win, so I'll take them.
Niners.
As much as Al's going to hate this, I'm going to have to go with the Lions on this one.
I'm going with the Niners.
I think when Woody's shooting today, I'm going to make sure that clock runs out. And then our last pick of the day is we're going to turn over to high school basketball. It's Tri-County at Sigourney, but what we're picking here is the over-under. You guys average 60 points a game, but I'm going to up that a little bit. I'm going to put 75 on the board, over-under. Bergie's starting here. 75, Berg.
I feel like Mitch will pull us under.
No, I'm going with over. Even if the bench comes in, they're still going to put up points.
I'll go over.
I don't think Mitch will let us run up the score, so I'll take the under.
I'll go with the over, even if we get pulled. Our bench players will do it.
All right, that's our picks. Yeah, for the guests here today, guys. Thanks for coming in, and good luck this afternoon. We'll be out there watching you guys. So good luck on the rest of the season. Hopefully, we're playing for a good seed in the playoffs and make some noise. So thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Good time.
All righty. While we bring in Coach Eslick, let's once again look at those deals going on the Brothers Market app. Make sure you download this app when you come in and do your grocery shopping here at Brothers Market in downtown Sigourney. It's a 3-day sale. It's been going on, and it goes through today. So you can still take advantage of these deals on the Brothers Market app. Let's go to Coach Eslick. He's hanging out with Alan and Bruce here at Brothers Market for the sports section.
All right, thanks again, Steve. We brought in the head coach of the Sigourney Savages boys varsity team, Coach Eslick. Thanks for coming in, Coach. I don't think we've seen you for a little while here.
Yeah, no, it's great to see you guys. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody the last 3 weeks. We've been sitting at home in the snow. So
yeah, I guess we'll just start off here. Just tell us. I know you haven't had very many past games, but you're 2-0 this week, going for 3-0, and maybe kind of take us back to the start when we talked to you there too, of like what improvements you've seen, and just tell us about how the seasons went, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been a really fun year. I mean, you had the 5 starters in here this morning. We've got 5 other great kids as well. We've got we've got 5 other juniors actually. We've got Cole McKay, Dylan Weber, Caden Clarahan, Kayla Rourke, and Kane Weber, and they've done a great job as well. The good thing about this week is they've all gotten a lot of time. We've had a couple of pretty comfortable wins against Highland on Monday, and then EV last night, and they've gotten a lot of time as well. So it's a fun group. And then we've got 10 great JV kids as well, and they've been able to play. They had a really nice win last night as well over EV, and it has been a really weird January here. I mean, just I was joking with Shay yesterday at our PD. I said, man, we're undefeated in January. Normally that means you've won like 12 or 13 games, and we've won 3. So it's like, it's kind of crazy. But we've had a good stretch. I thought we had probably had our best win of the year right before this at Pekin. We had a really good win over there on the road. You guys know that's a tough place to play, and Coach Swanson does a great job over there. And I really felt good about that win. I thought we had some momentum, and then boom, 5 games in a row canceled, and then we got one in, and then Tuesday we got postponed again at Belle Plaine. So it's certainly going to make for a really crazy stretch of games here coming up at the start of February. But kids will love it; they'll get to play a bunch of games, and I won't sleep, and we'll see if I survive. So,
and I think you're sitting at 8-5 right now.
Yep.
Is that correct? And you're playing obviously for a pretty high seed there in the playoffs. So throughout the season, I guess now that you've kind of made your round, I mean, who kind of gave you guys bad matchups, and who do you feel like is one of the top teams in the conference? And like I said, we kind of ask all the guys there too of what they felt like was a bad matchup just for themselves. So
yeah, I mean, I think that obviously Keota's had a phenomenal year. They're undefeated in the league, and I think they're really in a good position to win the conference. They've got a couple games left, but they'll be favorites in the rest of their games. Linville-Sully is very good as well. They're both ranked in the top 10 in the latest rankings that the state sent out. So the league's really strong this year. And, honestly, the team that probably gave us the most trouble is North Mahaska. They played really well the night that they came to our place. They were very impressive. And then Montezuma is always good. Belle Plaine's got a really nice team as well. I think they're about 12-3 right now. So there's some really good teams at the top of our league, and I think that there's some teams in our conference that have a chance to make the state tournament, and that's always fun. You're always rooting for the teams in your conference, and it'll be interesting to see here the pairings come out not this Monday but the next Monday, and it'll be interesting to see kind of how the state arranges things, and they've done a pretty good job here lately of as you guys know, we keep a pretty close eye on football as well. They've done a pretty good job of trying to get who they think are the top 8 teams. In football, the top 4 to the Dome, and basketball, the top 8 to Wells Fargo. So that'll be interesting to see kind of how that goes. And there's some other really strong teams in our area too. Winfield Mount Union's got the Buffington kid who's going to Iowa to play football, and the Edwards kid who's going to Army to play football. And they're just a really athletic bunch. I think they have one loss to a team from Illinois. They're undefeated against Iowa teams. And then Northland's a juggernaut. So there's a lot of teams in this kind of general area that are really good. So it'll be interesting to see what direction that we go. But yeah, I mean, our goal right now is to win as many games as we can, hopefully get at least one tournament game at home like we did last year. That's kind of our goal right now. And with the pairings not coming out till next Monday, I feel like, we've got 3 or 4 games in between then. If we can pile up 3 or 4 wins, get ourselves to, 12 wins before that, I think we got a good shot to maybe get a decent draw and get a home game, and then maybe a chance to upset somebody in the second round.
And the kids have got to be playing with some confidence right now. And like we talked with the guys there earlier, I mean, by far you guys are the youngest team in the conference, which is pretty promising because, that's fun as a coach, knowing you got everybody coming back. Not that you're wanting to call it a rebuilding year, but it kind of is a rebuilding year. And, throughout the season, have you seen any, like young mistakes that, need to be fixed, were fixed,
Yeah, I think that, it's such a unique situation. I can't remember that happening before where there's been no seniors. Tuesday night, the girls are going to honor their seniors against Iowa Valley. It's going to be an incredibly stress-free night for me with no seniors. I mean, it's like normally you're worried about getting this ready, getting that ready, getting the parents ready. It's like, we don't have anybody. So that's unique. But it is exciting because, we've been able to talk to these kids like, like we lost a couple games early in the year, and, we were like, what, guys, if we don't win the conference title this year, that's fine because all of you guys are coming back, and I think we got a chance to win it next year. And so, we're trying to focus on this year because, you want to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. And I think that this team has the opportunity to win a bunch of games here going through the stretch, but you also have that unique situation where it's like, hey, this team is going to come back together, and if you guys can continue to improve and continue to work and continue to get better, this group could really do some damage, not only this year, but the following year, because, you look at our starting 5, the guys you had in here, Isaac's the only one that will lose after next year. So it's an exciting group, and as you guys know, we've got some really talented kids coming up behind in our junior high programs right now as well. And so it is an exciting time for our basketball program, and I think that as far as the young mistakes are concerned, that Belle Plaine game is the one I really look back on. That was a game that we were in control of. I thought we played really well that night, and just we made some mistakes that you knew that we hadn't really had a chance to close the game out yet, and we hadn't played any close games at that point in the year, and we made some mistakes that were young. And I think we have learned from them, and I think in that Pekin game we still made some of those mistakes, but we made fewer of them and were able to hold on and win, and that's what we got to just keep getting better and keep improving and keep making less and less of those mistakes. But when you got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores playing a bunch of minutes like we do, there is going to be every night you're not going to be consistent just because that youth that is it's just, and the thing is at the junior high level you play 10, 11 games and you're done. Well, we're at that point now, and some of these guys, even the JV schedules, 14, 15 games, and so later in the year, and that's what concerns me a little bit about all these made up games, is that we'll wear down a little bit, and so that's where those bench kids I mentioned, they're going to have to really play a key role here coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Speaking of you're far into the season now, have you had any like significant injuries that have popped up that kids have been battling through the year? And most importantly, have you had any injuries this year?
You know me too well, Bruce. So let's see, are these chairs wooden? Let me knock on it here real quick. Okay, we have not. We've been very fortunate from that aspect. Actually last night in the JV game we had a couple of close calls. The poor lady from the Compass medical team that was on the bench at EV probably thought we were nuts because I kept running into the big gym, grabbing him. Lou, who I just saw in here 2 minutes ago, his arm went numb. He got hit. I think it must have been like his funny bone. He said he couldn't feel it, so we run him in there. 2 minutes later, Landon Conrad, who's had a great year at the JV level, goes in the lane and his knee hyperextends, and we thought he tore his ACL, and he was fine too. So we dodged a couple bullets last night on what we thought could have been serious injuries. But yeah, I mean, I think in December, I think everyone had that sickness going around, at the elementary school, at the high school. So we dealt with a little bit of that, but for the most part, it's been a very healthy year, and I'm smart enough now to stay out of practice that I don't do my finger again, or I don't have another fourth knee surgery. So I'm not quite as active as I was back when we were doing it. I'd jump in and play a little bit, and we got 20 kids now, so I let them get after it. So it's been a healthy year so far. But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness though, that does concern me a little bit with all these games coming up, just because the wear and tear, just you get a little tired, and then that's when you can get an injury. And so you hate to play. I think we've got starting Tuesday, we've got I think 6 games in 8 days. You hate to do that. I mean, you really do, but you got to do it. I mean, and it's just, Mother Nature was such a, and Lee's done a great job of getting all these games back on the schedule for us, and we appreciate all the work that he's done for us to get that back on there. And there's no other options. The kids want to play, and I want them to play. And, we had a couple choices of, do we want to get this one in? Do we not want to get this one in? And I always err on the side of, let's play the games. That's what the kids want. They're not going to be worried about playing 6 games in 8 days. That's something that Zach and I will worry about, and just hope we can make it through healthy, because that is a bit of a concern with just this really busy schedule coming up.
And talking about a schedule, I know the boys said coming up here, Belle Plaine's playing. Was it Belle Plaine playing a back-to-back doubleheader?
Yeah, their girls are. Their girls have had they have very few girls, and they've had some injury issues, sickness issues, and they had to cancel a couple games on nights that they even could have played. So they've got like even more games to make up. So they decided that they're going to play a game at 4:30 against EV next Saturday, and then our girls will play them at 6, and then we'll play the boys after at 7:30, 8 o'clock, whenever. So it takes us back to our days where at Pekin, where we had 7 games on the one floor. I think we got out of there one night at 11.
9 hours.
Yeah, we were down there all day playing JV, varsity, the whole deal. But yeah, I mean and actually Tri-County's doing it on Monday. They're playing Highland at 6, and then they don't have a girls team, and they're playing Highland at 6, and then they're popping out and playing Iowa Valley at 7:30. So athletic directors and superintendents have had to get very creative here with just these unusual circumstances of all these no school days. And the thing that's crazy, it seems like it's hit on Tuesdays and Fridays a lot when you're supposed to be playing games, and I feel like we've been at school every Wednesday, but we don't play on Wednesdays. And so it's just been a combination of bad timing with this, and you're gonna have to get creative. And I'm glad we're not playing any double headers, but we'll see. No, we'll see.
No, and with all these games coming up too, I guess for your sake, for practice, you can really point out the bench guys of how important they're going to be here in this stretch coming up. So.
Yeah, huge. I mean, I thought that the bench guys played pretty well last night. I didn't think that they played very well on Monday against Highland. I thought they struggled a little bit, but I thought they really did play a lot better last night. Dylan Weber came in, hit a 3 right away. I thought Cole McKay gave us some really good minutes last night. Kane Weber, I think Kane had his best practice of the year on Wednesday. Looked great and kind of carried that over into last night's game. And Caden Clairhain came in, made a couple shots. Kayla Rourke scored. We had all 10 of our guys score last night in the game against EV, and that's cool. That's what you want. You want all your guys out there scoring and contributing, and that's what we were able to do last night. And just with foul trouble, with a possibility of an injury, you just never know when it's going to be. And I've told the guys that you may play 3 minutes tonight. We may need you to play 20 minutes the next night. You got to stay ready, and you got to be ready. And those 5 starters have proven that there are 5 best guys for sure. But those next 5 guys all have a role, and it's important, and you just don't know what night we're going to need each one to step up, and surely in this stretch of busy games, it's going to be a different guy off that bench every night that we're really going to need.
Why don't you give us an idea, like I know you play Tri-County today, but kind of what next week looks like and kind of your recipe for success to come through this next couple weeks uninjured and get some W's in the column.
Yeah, so we're fortunate that we do not play Monday night. The girls do. They play Wilton, so that's their second Tri-County game since they don't have a girls team. So they play Monday night. So we'll practice Monday. At this point in the year, practice is short. I mean, I'm never going to go past an hour and 15 minutes at this point, just because we've got to keep our kids fresh. Now, we have gone past an hour and 15 here these last couple weeks just because we haven't had any games. But now that we're going to start playing a bunch, the practices will be short. We'll get done what we need to. We'll get a bunch of shots up. We'll work on some stuff. We'll talk about the other team that we're going to play the next night or maybe the night after that. And we're going to make sure that we try to keep the kid, and we're going to kick the kids out of the gym. We're going to say, hey, you can stay and shoot for 10 minutes, but you're not going to be spending 3 hours in the gym because, we've got to keep you guys, fresh and ready to go. And then, Iowa Valley comes to town on Tuesday night, and we played one of our better games of the year there. We beat them by a bunch. It's not going to be easy on Tuesday. They'll put up a lot better fight against us at home. Then we take our long road trip over to Colfax on Thursday night. They're kind of an up and down team. They got a bunch of seniors. They've had some really good wins. They've had some kind of puzzling losses. So I think we'll have our hands full there. We've got HLV at home on Friday night, who's a good team. They've got one of the leading scorers in the conference. Licht kids averaging, or the Roth kids averaging like 23 points a game. So he'll be hard to stop. And then a big, kind of revenge game for us at Belle Plaine on Saturday. And just, the thing that's hard is when you do have those 3 games in a row and you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just the preparation, you as you guys know, you'd love in practice to be able to walk through, okay, here's what they're doing here, here's what they're doing there, here's their out of bounds plays, here's, you don't have as much time for that. You have to do it, pregame, you have to do it right before. And, luckily, as you saw with, the 5 kids that you had in here this morning and then our other 5, we've got some kids that have some high basketball IQ. So that helps because they're able to understand some of these concepts when you're just drawing it up on a whiteboard or you're just talking about it. They're able to understand it a little bit and they're able to see it. And we've seen that. We've had a couple back-to-backs already where we played Friday and then Saturday, or we played Monday and then Tuesday. And I don't feel like there's been a big drop-off from the scouting perspective from that. So that's kind of the one challenge, is just that you want to prepare for everyone the same, but when you have 3 games in a row, you don't get the time on court to prepare for some of them. So that's probably the most difficult thing with all these games in a row. And then, we come back the next week and we got Centerville on Monday, we got Keota Tuesday, another back-to-back and 2 really good teams. And so it's gonna be a grind for sure, but we understand that this is a situation that we're in and there's nothing we can do, and we want to play the games, and so that's what we're going to do.
And from the start of the season here, Coach, to now, I mean, you guys are such a young team.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a couple players or a player that's really just stood out to you, that's like really came along?
Yeah, I think we knew what we had in Isaac and Solon to start the year. Those are our 2 leading scorers. We knew that would probably be the case. Ike was a wild card because he looked so good all summer. He looked good, when I've seen him play. But you don't know how you're going to adjust to that level of varsity basketball when it counts. Summer games are so different, and he has exceeded all expectations that I had. He's been phenomenal. I thought he played great last night against EV. If you would watch him play, you would never guess he's a freshman. I mean, if you didn't have your program in front of you and looked at the grade, you would guess he's a junior, a senior maybe. Just the way he plays, the poise that he plays with, and that's probably been the biggest thing that's impressed me about Ike is just that he's had that maturity, and he's always been a mature kid. I remember when he was in 6th grade, I had him in 6th grade. He thought he was a freshman. He's got the older brothers, and he's been around those. He's played with Isaac and Solon in that group. He's always been kind of one that's been around kids that are older and had that maturity, and that really shows on the court. And he's just a great leader, unselfish kid. And then the 2 kids that this summer, I thought, man, it'd be great if they could come in and come off the bench, if they could, give us a couple minutes here and there, were John Berg and Braden Wood. And it became pretty evident, a couple days into practice that those guys were going to be starters and that they were going to be big contributors. And, John especially just has given us that inside presence that, his rebounding, his shot blocking that we really needed. And just for him to step into the role where there's a lot of nights where we can't take John off the court just because he's so valuable inside for us. And so I think that those guys have really given us a little bit of a lift from where my preseason expectations for us were maybe 7-8 wins, and that's where we're at right now. And we still got 8-9 games left. I think we'll get past that. So I've been really, really pleased with the way that this group's come together, and they got great cohesiveness, all 10 of them. I mean, the guys that come off the bench, they're fired up and they're cheering for the starters who are in there. And then when it's vice versa and the bench guys are in there, starters are getting up and they're excited. And so there's just a lot of good team chemistry with this group. That's something that as a coach, you guys know, you can't really create that. It's just the kids got to have it, and they do. And that's something that hopefully we can continue to build on and continue to progress with, because this group, this core group will be together completely next year, and then a lot of them through for a couple more years.
Yep. And we kind of ask all the guys there too of the remaining games, what's kind of the important ones, and they all pointed at Belle Plaine.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I know that game meant a lot to them, with the way it ended there in Sigourney, and they definitely want to get that one back. So
yeah, I think that there's a bad taste in their mouth. I know that a game that we thought we had won, and we did have won, and so I think that there is a little bit of a revenge there. I think that just we felt like we outplayed them that night and didn't win, and that's frustrating. But they're a really good team. I mean, they've won a bunch of games here. They had a great win over Montezuma a couple weeks ago, and they've really shown that they're a good team, and you guys know that's a tough place to play, and it's going to be, we're going to have our hands full with them. But yeah, I think that's certainly one that we've kind of had circled on the calendar here since that last one, just because of the way that we lost it right there at the buzzer.
Steve, you got any questions for Coach here?
I think you guys got it covered.
The only thing I was missing here was I thought Vivian was coming in today.
Yeah, where's Viv?
So I kind of had some dance questions for her, and that she didn't make it in today.
I did tell you that we were going to have Viv, and she, not that she doesn't love you guys, but she wanted to make muffins with Aunt Meredith this morning and said, so her and Aunt Meredith are making muffins right now, and I'm sure that we'll try to get her in here at some point here. I know she's a big fan of the show, so we'll get her in here at some point. But yeah, she, when it comes to basketball or food, Viv's going to choose food every time. So she went with Aunt Meredith this morning, and they're having fun, and I'm going to run and pick her up. And if you want to see Viv, come to the game this afternoon. She'll be there. So 1 o'clock, JV starts. Got 2 JV quarters this afternoon, and then varsity right after. A little matinee basketball on tap today, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I believe I'm keeping the shot clock, so I'll be out there rooting you guys on.
Because Uncle Mark's fishing tournament.
Oh,
he's
okay. I didn't know why he was gone
he's
today.
He's fishing. So.
Ice fishing.
Ice fishing. You guys ever ice fish?
No.
Never have ice fish.
It scares me.
I don't know why you would ice fish. I mean, it's cold. You're never warm. The ice could break. You could drown. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could go wrong.
Too many red flags.
The negatives definitely outweigh the positives on that one.
And it's been warm here lately. I'd be suspect of the ice being thick enough.
I agree.
No, so I think that's about it there. Coach, thanks for coming in.
We're going to run through our
We're going to go through our pick'ems. Coach Eslick is Neil Crott today,
All right, make some picks. All right, let's do it.
and we'll go from there. So our first pick, we'll start with men's basketball. Iowa at Michigan.
Michigan.
I'm going to take the Hawks. Michigan's a mess right now. Their coach, Juwan Howard's had some issues. Their best players only play at home games. I think they are at home today, but I'm going to take the Hawks.
I think I'm going to go with Michigan. Fran just upsets me. He's just always an angry elf, and I don't know.
tall elf.
I was just so disappointed the other night with Maryland. I guess I don't know. That was just a bad loss to me. So I'm going with Michigan.
Yeah, me too. Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, number 7, Kansas at Iowa State.
Oh, man. I got to go Iowa State at home.
Yeah, Hilton Magic. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, me too. I think the Hilton Magic will prevail today. I'm going with Iowa State.
I will pick one up on you guys. I'll go with Kansas on this one.
Number 20, Texas Tech at number 11, Oklahoma.
Sooners.
Yep, I'm Sooners cheer. Porter Moser done a great job there.
Yeah, I'm going Oklahoma.
I don't know enough about Tech, so I'm going with the Sooners.
Texas at number 21, BYU.
BYU.
BYU can really shoot it. I watched them play Houston a couple nights ago. They're a good team. They lost that game, but I think they get it done today at home.
I'm going BYU.
Well, Texas.
Number 9, Arizona at Oregon. And like I said, these two both have the same record. Oregon's just not ranked.
Arizona scares me. I mean, I know they're good, but they have their days. I'm going to go Oregon.
You guys ever seen Oregon's court?
Yeah,
It's like a forest. I hate it gives me a migraine to watch games on that court. But I'll take Oregon at home. Arizona's been struggling a little bit here lately.
Yeah, I'm going to go Oregon just because of their court.
Speaking of courts, is it TCU that has like the silver?
Yes.
And blue? I saw
hate
that
that one
here
too,
recently.
yeah.
Man, I'll go Arizona though on the Arizona-Oregon game.
Okay, we'll switch over to women's basketball. Nebraska at Iowa today.
Iowa.
Hawks.
I think Caitlin rebounds from her fall, puts up 40, and the Hawks win.
I say she goes for 50. Iowa.
50.
Iowa State at number 24, West Virginia, women's basketball.
West Virginia.
Yeah, it's a tough win to Morgantown. I'd say let's West Virginia there.
Yeah, I'm going to go West Virginia.
Oh, fine. West Virginia.
All right, then we'll switch over to NFL. The Chiefs at the Ravens.
Ravens.
I've got one rule, hard and fast: never pick against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So I'm going to go Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup, actually. The Chiefs are playing well. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs here, too.
Yeah, could go either way. Yeah, Ravens.
The Lions at San Francisco.
Niners.
I'm not getting out of here if I don't pick Niners. So I'm with your boys here, George Kittle. Let's do it.
Yep. Should be a pretty good day.
A pretty. I'll go Lions. You know, they need it more than anybody in the world needs it.
And then our last pick, we're doing the high school basketball. Tri-County at Sigourney with the over-under is 75. Hopefully, like you said, the DCI is not watching right now.
Mitch has to pick first.
You know how on College Game Day, Kirk Herbstreit can't pick the games that he's calling. I think that's a similar situation right here. I think I'm gonna have to not be allowed to because
that's understandable.
Bruce said he had the DCI wasn't geo-tapping us
We're
here
not
this morning.
They're not geo. I put
we
a
saw that in
blocker
the news. Hopefully, don't get in trouble for that. Hopefully, we're not getting there's not someone at our door when I get home here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one. I love Coach Springer at Tri-County, and I think that he does a phenomenal job. Those kids, they play hard every single night, and we're excited to have them come to our place. We appreciate them making the effort on a Saturday afternoon, and I know that both teams are going to play hard and have fun.
Well, with that answer, I'm going to take the under.
I think Woody and the boys are going to beat it up here. I'm going with the over. We put 67 up on them first time, and I think we've improved. So I'm going to go with the over here.
Neil Crott says over. He messaged me, and I'll go under.
All right. Well, that's our pick'ems for this week. Coach, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Good
having me.
luck
Always fun.
today.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Stay away from the hot dogs. Plan one-on-one and cotton candy if you get out in the new Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I need to get over there. I haven't been over there yet. So, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. It's always fun. You guys do a great job with this, so thank you.
Appreciate it,
Thanks.
Coach.
All righty, so that'll do it for today's sports section here at Brothers Market in downtown Sigourney. Again, use that Brothers Market app to take advantage of the deals going on through today with the 3-day sale that wraps up today. You got your specials there that you can see right there. Download the app and use that here at Brothers Market. They host our sports section. We'll be back here again next Saturday at 8 a.m.